I'm Claudio Strino, the product manager of the wet chemistry branch of KPM, and I'm really glad to introduce you to our new product that we are launching this year in Analytica 2026, which is the SmartChem 800 series that is intended to cover the needs of the high throughput commercial labs, helping them to perform really the scaling of wet chemistry in the labs and fitting the lab consolidation concept. The main challenges we were finding when speaking with labs were the pressure from the regulation to improve the cost and the efficiency of the analytical routine, possibility to manage the increasing turnaround of samples, and possibility to give them something covering what the high turnover of people and the reducing skills of technicians in the lab. We started around 3-4 years ago with one of the biggest soil testing lab in Europe, because when we approached them, they were in the need to cover a really huge amount of samples daily based on huge amount of number of parameters to be tested. And our approach is not just to try selling something to labs, but is to work with them as consultants, because we want to provide them with a solution. Our main goal is to create a platform, as we said, able to work without any babysitting, but also that is easy to use, because, as we said before already, skills in the lab are not the same available in the past. So today we need to provide them something that is easy to use from hardware point of view, but mainly from software point of view. Why? Because instrument at the end is doing analysis, automating the wet chemistry routine. The real add-on value became the software that should be easy to use, friendly, and we arrived to also understanding the needs of those labs, also creating a multimedia library already presenting the software, user tips. When the user are entering in the different software area, they already have tips informing them about the feature. From the tips, they can recall tutorials, procedures, helping them also to improve the user experience and to make the journey better and better day by day by becoming confident. Just to give you some numbers, when we are going to commission new equipments, new operators starting first time approaching, in 2 days, they are able to start and work alone without any need of any further training. We are really taking care about the sustainability and also to help labs to reduce the environmental impact. So we implemented here reusable cuvettes that could be managed individually. So in case of problem, you can just replace one single cuvette, and it means that we are just generating liquid waste and not any plastic hazardous waste. Moreover, we spend a lot of engineering to also have dedicated drain lines, that this is helping us also to divide normal waste from reaction waste. So it means that only around 35-40% of the waste need to be managed as hazardous. The rest can be managed as normal. So not mixing together, we are also taking into account sustainability concerning the liquids we are managing as waste. We created behind 800, we call it 800 series because we have 3 main models, 800, 810 and 820, where the 820 is the really instrument fitting the need of those high commercial labs. Why? Because on this equipment we implemented both on reagents compartment and sample compartment the refrigeration using an external chiller. What does it mean from working point of view? Both compartments are working on around 10 Celsius degrees as working temperature. So it means that we can preserve on board reagents and samples. So from reagent point of view, this is really important. Why? Because we have a lot of reagents that could degrade over time, if not really in a controlled environmental temperature. But also concerning sample, it is much more important because we have a lot of parameters that could be impacted by the onboard timing. For example, ammonia, free and total chlorine, pH. So having this feature, we can really provide reliable results over time for those labs having the need of those huge workload to be covered daily basis. looking ahead on what is the trend of the labs, we can really provide a solution. We can really fulfill the lab consolidation process, giving labs an instrument, giving them possibility to put NA on the future without the need to implement something different. So what they will buy today will help them to be already ready for the future.